Welcome back to the weekly recap. I'm Matt Wacker. Work continues on the campus of Missouri S&T to restore an aging piece of art significant to the area. The Rolla mural, once displayed in the Rolla Daily News building, now hangs in the Curtis Laws Wilson Library, where viewers can watch the finishing touches of the restoration process. Leanne spoke with artist Dan Woodward and facilities operations supervisor Michael Bassett about the project.
The mural was donated by the Sowers family, which we are very gracious to have this as a gift here. We physically had to remove it from the Rolla Daily News building where it was put in 1952 when the artist Sidney Larson painted it.
When he painted this, he was in his 30s, and he was a student of Thomas Hart Benton.
When we took it off of the wall, there was between 60 and 70 bolts, nuts, and nails that were in the wall that he had fastened it to the wall with. So we had to develop a special blade, and we got behind the mural and cut the mural off in one piece.
It was in pretty good shape, but there was some water damage and also some cracks where the building settled.
We developed a special framework to go on top of it, to bridge it, to where it didn't move when we took it off. We actually had to take the front window out of the Rolla Daily News building. We had to reverse that, and we took a window out of this building, the library building, to install it in here. It was definitely a job that you didn't have any instructions with, and we had to develop and engineer things as we went along.
For me, what is so wonderful about this is that it was the second largest mural in Missouri at the time, in the 50s. And here it was in Rolla. It was commissioned by Mr. Sowers, and it was finished in '53.
The significance of the Rolla mural, it depicts in picture the first 100+ years of Rolla and the community surrounding it, including the university. You start with John Weber's cabin that was built, homestead, right on Kings Highway in 1845. And it goes the time length all the way through 1952-53 area when Sidney completed the mural. It has every significant event that Rolla went through in that 100+ years.
The Sowers family asked me to be in charge of the restoration process. It's really a labor of love for me because I knew Sidney Larson. The paint that Sidney Larson used was called casein. It's a kind of paint that is milk-based, watercolor, you might say. Along with this, he used egg tempera. When this is finished, I'll do what he did and cover the whole thing with a layer of egg varnish. The reason I'm following what Mr. Larson used is because of the value of the piece. We want to use the same materials and treat it the same way he did so that it will retain its value through the years.
This is one of the greatest, in my opinion, treasures that we have historically of this county and this community that we have.
I'm just so honored to be able to do this. It's been a real challenge, but I love it.
This is an extension of our community, and we want that to overlap. We want the community. This is your mural.
You can come in mid-March, I would say, and see it finished.
Firefighters were dispatched to a residence inside the city of Salem for an early morning fire on March 6th. Upon arrival, crews observed a two-story home with heavy flames coming from the second floor. Due to the conditions and with no immediate threat to life, crews performed a defensive attack. The structure and the majority of its contents are a complete loss. A total of 8 personnel responded to the call. The quiet town of Richland was body slammed when doors opened for Ringside Championship Wrestling last Saturday night. The evening was full of family-friendly feuds as wrestlers came to compete for the people of the Ozarks. The event even featured 3-time WWE Tag Team Champion Trevor Murdoch.
I'm Brian Thompson, owner and promoter of Ringside Championship Wrestling, and we're very happy to have a tremendous event this past Saturday night in Richland, Missouri at the Richland City Gym. Fundraiser for the Richland Friends of the Pool as they're looking to do a splash park and some other recreational activities in their community, reached out. The Richland Area Chamber of Commerce and Richland Parks Department teamed up with us, Ringside Championship Wrestling, to bring what I personally feel is a night of great professional wrestling action. We raised some money for a great community cause and put on a night about 2.5 hours of hard-hitting yet family-friendly pro wrestling entertainments. On RCW shows, we use a variety of superstars that I personally have gotten to know over the last 18 years of my pro wrestling career. So usually on any given single event, we'll have about 8 to 10 professional wrestlers. We're actually working on a number of events in the region up and down the Interstate 44 corridor. So hopefully in the fall, winter of this coming year, we'll have some more dates announced. Well, I encourage people to come out and enjoy a show. If you see a Ringside Championship Wrestling flyer, commercial, advertisement of any sort, know that we're going to bring you quality, family-friendly, so you don't have to worry about bringing your kids and covering their eyes or putting some cotton in their ears so they can't hear what the wrestlers are saying. We're definitely wanting to be a community partner and someone that you can reach out to and that will help you and your community do something nice and provide some entertainment and also raise awareness and also, again, raise some money potentially for a great cause.
A West Plains woman was arrested March 4th on a charge of third-degree domestic assault after allegedly chasing her boyfriend across the yard with a spray bottle filled with bleach and threatening to kill him. When officers arrived, 39-year-old Shauna Hampton was yelling obscenities at the victim. Both parties declined to complete statements. Hampton was later released on a $1,000 bond. The Cowan Civic Center was packed with guests for the Regional 115 Invitational Taekwondo Tournament last weekend. Participants from across the nation gathered in Lebanon as they went toe-to-toe with their fellow martial artists.
I am Chief Master Nominee Prosser with the American Taekwondo Association. Well, we're probably looking at close to 700 competitors, or maybe a little more, and they say you average about 2.5, 2.3 spectator. So you can take that, you're looking at 2,500 for sure, if not more, plus or minus sometimes. This is a Regional 115 just competition, Taekwondo competition, which has many events of all kinds. Traditional forms is a martial art is doing. Some people know it as kata, but it's a martial art form. It's moves that's made up and represents like fighting imaginary opponents. The next thing would be is a weapon form, and the weapons are of their choice. Sometimes pertain to the ring. You can be like some people call it a nunchuck, or the sangbong, short stick, bamongi, staff, jongbong, osungdo, gumdo, swords is another thing you compete, and you're judged on the technique. So one weapon can compete against another weapon. They don't have to be all in the same weapon category, and they're judged kind of like the Olympics, 9-point scale, and then you compete for that. The next thing would be is actually head-to-head sparring with full gear, and it's a point system. And then after the point sparring, it is combat sparring. And combat sparring is like represents kind of a short stick, filthy stick fight. And same way, it's a point system, and you score by strikes and disarm, or like the weapons drop or stuff like this. And to be honest with you, like I'm from Rolla, Missouri, and teach. I have 3 locations, and I teach at Fort Leonard also. And this venue has probably been one of the best venues that we could probably have for a competition like this. So we look forward to coming back.
Dr. Scott Smith, an administrator in the West Plains School District for 13 years, has officially been named the new superintendent of Gasconade County R1. He will take over in Herman on July 1st. Dr. Smith began his administrative career as principal of South Fork Elementary in 2005 and was later named principal of West Plains Middle. Smith's resignation is effective June 30th. The 12th annual Mindy Tartar Co-ed Volleyball Tournament is taking place on March 24th in West Plains. Only $10 to enter, at least 3 guys and 3 gals per team. Funds will go into a scholarship for one local athlete to attend the West Plains campus of Missouri State University. Entry deadline is March 17th. Congratulations to the Rolla boys basketball team for winning the district championship over Helias on March 2nd. And in thrilling fashion, no less. The Bulldogs claimed the plaque after a dramatic three-pointer by Alec Burr with only 4 seconds remaining. Josh Pritchett scored 41 of the team's 63 points. Rolla's season came to an end on Tuesday night in Sedalia after facing a sharpshooting Grandview team, finishing with a record of 24-4. One last thing, have you heard of the Sunny Wall? In a clip from last week's interview, Larry Stratman explains what it has to do with Rolla's St. Pat's celebration.
About 3 or 4 years ago, Mike and I were brainstorming one day, and we go, why is not the new sweatshirt design a big deal on campus? Because just all of a sudden, the board will show up at Kroger's or Walmart selling these sweatshirts. Why isn't it a big deal? So we said, let's make it a big deal. So now, on the Friday of homecoming weekend, on the side of our building here, we have a big unveiling. And it's a big deal. There's music, there's speeches, there's food, but people are standing in line to be one of the first ones to get the newest St. Pat's sweatshirt. The St. Pat's board calls the wall on the side of our building the Sunny Wall, in tribute to Mary Williams. She ran Sunny Wall Flowers here for 31 years.
You'll find a final bit about St. Patrick's memorabilia on our Facebook page. As always, be sure to like our page for extra clips and pictures you don't see here. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Wacker. I'll see you next time. The Weekly Recap is brought to you by Rice Chopper, Cooking from Scratch, the UPS store of Rolla, Bayard Dodge in West Plains, and the Ozarks Medical Center.